Welcome to another episode of Living Fire. Subscribe now so you never miss out on any of our latest episodes. Let's get into the video. So you got your hands on $50. Cool. It might not quite earn you a place on any of those Forbes richest lists, but give yourself a huge pat on the back. Saving any amount of money isn't easy, and resisting the urge to spend that $50 is no small feat. Now, it's time to figure out what to do with it. First, two nosy questions. Are all your credit cards paid off? Do you have 3 to 6 months of living expenses set aside in case you're not able to work for a while? If the answer to either of those questions is no, we highly recommend putting your $50 towards accomplishing these two goals before investing, because both scenarios involve real and potential credit card debt, and credit card interest rates will almost certainly outpace any gains you might see from investing. Factors that dictate how to invest $50. First, you'll want to assess a few factors that will dictate your next move before investing your $50. Number 1, goals and time horizon. The first step is understanding what you intend to do with this little pile of money. Do you plan to use this $50 during your retirement in 30 or so years? Or is this a gift from Aunt Beatrice that you're going to use to finance a nice vacation in a couple of years' time? Goals mean what you intend to do with the money, and time horizon is how long you intend to hold a particular investment. In general, a person who's going to need the money within 5 years will probably want to avoid investing heavily in equities, aka stocks. Generally, stocks fluctuate in value much more than other investments, such as government-backed bonds. If you need your money in the short term, the last thing you want to do is to have to withdraw it all when the market is down. Number 2, circumstances and risk tolerance. Circumstances covers how much money you have now and how much money you anticipate you'll be getting in the future via factors like inheritance. Money can be liberating if you have a cushion to depend on and you don't need the money for a long period of time. Then investing might be a good option for you. Along with time horizon, your circumstances will directly affect your risk tolerance, a term that simply means how much of your investment you can afford to lose. If your $50 was abducted by aliens and your life wouldn't be materially affected in any way, you have an incredibly high risk tolerance. If, without your $50, you won't be able to come up with next month's mortgage payment, your risk tolerance is extremely low. In a situation like the latter, you'd want to put the entirety of your $50 somewhere incredibly safe, a cash equivalent that throws off some interest, like a savings investment account. The best accounts for investing $50. Don't underestimate the power of choosing the right investment account to store your $50. Taxes are like investment termites. They'll chew clear through your investment if you let them. So ideally, you should do anything you legally can to lower your tax bill. The government has actually created tax breaks to incentivize citizens to save for retirement and other big life expenses. An incredible amount can be saved by investing the maximum possible into what are known as tax-advantaged accounts. These investment vehicles either allow investments to grow within them tax-free or only become taxable when you withdraw money years down the line in retirement. Provided the time horizon on these accounts fits with your goals, grab as much of the free money as you can by maxing these accounts out first. Where to invest $50? At last, we're ready to actually invest the $50 of yours. There are infinite ways to invest your money. Alpacas, anyone? It's necessary to warn you that investments are speculative, and past results should never be understood as predictors of future performance. But that said, here are the smartest destinations for your $50. The stock market. Here is a totally uncontroversial opinion. If history is anything to go by, one of the quickest potential ways to have made your $50 grow would have been by opening a trading account and investing in the stock market. But what stocks should you have bought? Chances are you've heard stories about some dude who invested $1,000 in Amazon in 1997 who now lives in a castle. What you don't hear about as much, however, are the stories about some other guy who went all in on Snapchat and now lives in his mom's basement. Stock picking is extraordinarily hard. Famously, rich stock picker Warren Buffett has spent the last decades discouraging pretty much everyone not named Warren Buffett from trying to make money picking individual stocks, and in fact, has encouraged his heirs to invest the lion's share of their inheritance in low-fee, highly diversified stock funds. Bonds. Bonds are almost like a loan agreement. Essentially, one party gives another party money with the understanding it will be paid back in the future with interest. There are many types of bonds, from government bonds to municipal bonds. Bonds are typically seen as a less risky investment when compared to something like stocks, and as a result, many investors have some of their investments in bonds. Investing some of your money in bonds could be seen to counteract the volatility of the stock market, while getting into the nitty-gritty of bonds is not for the faint-hearted. Investing in them is a little easier. Bonds can be bought directly from the government via discount brokerages or online as a part of an investment portfolio offered by investment platforms. Real estate. Watch enough cable TV, and you'll assume that anyone with a tape measure and a barrel of hair gel can make millions flipping real estate. In reality, it's a business with huge risks that have been known to ruin unwise speculators. $50 probably won't be enough to cover a down payment on a house or apartment, but there is one way to benefit from the real estate market without having to actually buy property. Real estate investment trusts, or REITs, are companies that sell shares in their various real estate investments. Real estate may be a part of some investment portfolios created by Roboadvisors. ETFs, exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, are a catch-all term to describe baskets of equities that can be traded on a stock exchange. So telling someone your investing strategy is buying ETFs is a little like answering food when someone asks you to describe your diet. The great thing about ETFs is that since many of them invest your money in hundreds of equities, you'll minimize risk by not putting all your eggs in one basket. And not only that, buying even one share in a company like Apple or Google is super expensive and sadly out of your $50 price range. But many ETFs will be both within your budget and contain slivers of that very stock. Some ETFs contain stocks, other bonds, and some feature real estate investments. You can purchase ETFs by opening an account with an investment provider and making trades. ETFs that seek to mimic much or all of the stock market are particularly valuable parts of a balanced portfolio, since if one sector is not performing well, it won't drag down your entire investment. There are many ETFs to choose from. Index ETFs mimic an index like the S&P 500. So for one price, you can buy slivers of the 500 most valuable publicly traded companies in America. But one ETF does not a diversified portfolio make. You'll need several different ETFs in order to achieve the kind of diversification that most financial advisors recommend. If the idea of putting together a balanced portfolio sounds about as challenging as performing microsurgery, you might be a good candidate for a robo-advisory, a company that specializes in putting together portfolios for people like yourself. Robo-advisors. If the sound of buying stock, ETFs, or any other type of investment sounds confusing, let alone trying to choose them yourself, automated investing might be a solid option to consider. Online investment platforms, often called robo-advisors, allow you to take a risk survey and build a portfolio to suit your investing goals. Rather than sweating the details, you can have a special portfolio built according to your risk tolerance and goals, and get back to the truly important stuff in your life, like those dragons and Westeros. And though some robo-advisors have minimum dollar investments to join that may be higher than your $50, some of the best ones of all, allow you to create an entire balanced portfolio of ETFs with just $1. The best way to invest $50. Investments are nothing like that slanket your mom bought you. One size will absolutely not fit all, and you probably won't try to re-gift your investments. So, without knowing your specific situation, it's hard to tell you precisely where to put your $50. But that being said, there are some best practices we recommend for all investments. Keep fees low, just like taxes. Fees are like investment termites too. Left unchecked, they'll devour everything you value. If you can become a cold-hearted fee exterminator, you won't believe how much money you'll be able to save over the long term. It's not uncommon for an actively managed mutual fund to carry a 1% management expense ratio, or MER. This means that every year, regardless of how well the fund performs, 1% of the entire fund will be deducted to pay salaries and expenses of everyone who works on the fund. 1 or 2% might not sound like a huge sum, but one investment advisor showed that a fee of just 2% could decrease investment gains by half over the course of 25 years. Fiddle with a fee calculator to see how trading a 2% MER for a 0.5% one could affect a hypothetical $50 investment. Invest in a passive portfolio. Hold on, you might be thinking. If mutual fund managers are super good at picking the best performing stocks, their fees shouldn't be a problem, since the funds will be throwing off returns that far exceed those of the stock market as a whole. The problem is they're not. Most studies show the professionals paid to pick stocks will fail to outperform the overall market over the long term. So, if active pickers can't beat the stock market and still charge fees, what's a better route? Well, for most goals, time horizons and risk tolerances are particularly effective ways through passive investing. This can be done by using a robo-advisor. So rather than attempting to beat the market, most robo-advisors attempt to mirror the market by investing in many different ETFs. That's a job easily handled by a computer algorithm. Low-fee passive portfolios of ETFs can be designed with any goal, time horizon, and risk tolerance in mind. How to invest $50 safely? If safety is what you're looking for, then you'll need to look for low-risk investments, though you should know that there are no guarantees in investing. Stocks, being naturally risky, will fluctuate in value. In exchange for taking on this risk, investors will generally be rewarded with the possibility of higher returns than they'd get from less risky investments. So if you absolutely can't risk any fluctuation, you'll be better served with a savings account or a savings product that typically carry virtually little to no risk. That said, you can't expect the kind of returns you might get from investing in ETFs made up of stocks, bonds, and real estate. In fact, interest rates have lately been so low that inflation is likely to outpace the interest rate. And in the long run, you'll essentially be losing money by keeping your money stuck in one. Government bonds come with less risk, but also provide comparatively low returns. Stocks behave a little like a penny tossed in the air. The more times you do it, the more likely it is you'll get a 1-to-1 heads to tails ratio. And the longer you hold a stock, the more predictable the results will be. The range of outcomes tend to narrow over time. So in the past, those who held on to a variety of stock investments for more than a decade were most likely rewarded with returns that offset any short-term risk. The conventional wisdom is the longer your investment horizon, the higher the ratio of stocks to bonds your portfolio can contain. If you don't need to withdraw money in the short term, you can afford to ride the wave of the stock market. And with that, we've reached the end of this video, all about how to invest with only $50. If you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content just like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.